Hi folks, this is your MWIS Planning Outlook with our latest extended forecast. The weather pattern this weekend has still got high pressure in charge, with some weak fronts just pushing into the far west of Scotland. Still rather cloudy skies will prevail, that covering western mountains in the Highlands most frequently. Elsewhere will tend to lift and break. Some patchy rain just pushing into western Scotland, some of that just drifting a bit further eastwards with time. An odd shower possible locally, an odd shower for North Wales too, through onwards into the afternoon. Western Scotland may just see something a little bit more persistent in terms of rain come the evening and into the night, but still largely small amounts. Light winds overall, temperatures around average, but just feeling on the cool side, particularly in the morning. Sunday is a rather similar looking day across western Scotland, at least in the morning, with areas of low cloud and some bits and pieces of patchy rain once more, that tending to ease and fade as a front pulls away northwards, with cloud breaking, lifting somewhat in the west of Scotland through the day, so some breaks coming through to higher slopes. Elsewhere, patchy cloud in the morning will lift and break quite widely, with some good amounts of sun breaking through, more so than in previous days. Again, light winds overall, just feeling a touch warmer with the air coming up from the south, a bit breezier just towards the west coast of Scotland though. Looking at temperatures for the week as a whole next week, it will be just on the warmer side of average, and that's as we'll have low pressure just centred to the west of us initially and drawing around a warmer south to southwesterly airflow, and that will be fairly humid for a few days as well, but a trend towards something more unsettled. For Monday, we're still broadly influenced by high pressure toward the east, and that will keep things fine and with more sunshine again compared to just recently. Low pressure over the Atlantic encroaching towards us, and the effect of that being felt by a strengthening of the wind, and that becoming increasingly strong and gusty across western mountains, reaching gale force particularly onwards into the afternoon, soonest around Skye and the islands up the west coast elsewhere. And that will strengthen further onto the mainland onwards later in the day. So an increasingly windy day throughout Monday, some high cloud encroaching across the sky as well. A few spots of rain may come on toward the west coast of Scotland, but broadly it's dry until the evening. A front pushing across Ireland is just gradually making its way towards us, and by Monday night into Tuesday, some rain turning heavier most likely across westernmost regions. A bit of uncertainty on the timing of that, but all the while the wind will continue to strengthen and reach gale force across most higher mountains through into Monday evening and night. Wet weather then developing onwards into Tuesday. Again, a bit of uncertainty just on the extent of a front, but a fairly widespread zone of rain is expected to track its way gradually eastwards across the country, heaviest in the west, more fragmented further east, breaking up into showers onwards into the afternoon. A south-southwesterly wind will stay rather strong, maybe not quite as strong compared to later on Monday, but a blustery day and with a scattering of showers following the main area of rain, and it's that area of low pressure out toward the west that is then set to dominate the rest of the week. Day-to-day detail is going to be uncertain as that feature just swirls around slowly. Further pulses of rain sweeping in from the southwest. This is into Wednesday. Rain and showers, fairly extensive, I think, is going to be the message for a few days forwards. Local variations, and it could just be that west and northwest Scotland actually escapes somewhat drier more often, as here the wind flow across the Highlands will be more of an east to southeasterly, so affording some shelter towards the west coast, but a few showers will push all the way across the country at times. For England and Wales, nearer to the centre of the low, areas of rain and showers are more extensive, and some of those could be heavy and thundery, but again may well be hit and miss from day to day in terms of what you see. In general, low pressure is expected to circulate slowly toward the continent later in the week, and more or less stay in charge toward next weekend. The precise detail of any of this by that time, very uncertain, but in general, low pressure, areas of rain or showers slow moving across the country is expected to be the theme to the end of the month. It's a pattern that looks like staying around into early September. This is the week as a whole, the pressure pattern anomaly, and the blue colour indicates lower than average pressure persistent over that week. So further areas of rain and showers in the forecast, and a much more unsettled pattern compared to what we've been used to in many recent weeks. Temperatures just coming back near or a little below average at times, with some cooler air just drifting around off the Atlantic. It's a pattern that looks like continuing into the second week of September, still lower than average pressure signalled to be near to us, with again some further rain showers and some strong winds potentially in that forecast at times, all looking rather unsettled and autumnal. Into mid-month, hints of an improvement. We lose the lower than average pressure, no immediate signs of higher than average pressure, so a relative improvement is likely, although may not be absolutely set fair. Detail gets very sketchy, of course, once we go that far ahead, but what does look confident is a more unsettled trend to take us into the start of September at least. Waterproofs at the ready then in the next couple of weeks forwards. All your local details, as ever, can be found on our website. That is your planning outlook for today. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.